はい、こんにちは。北のクマさんです。シャーロック・ホームズ、罪と罰、クライムズ&パニッシュメンツの第4章をやっていきたいと思います。前回第3章やって、考古学的なね、発掘に関するところでの、殺人事件がありまして、前回のはね、詳細は言いませんけど、見事に推理がね、当たりまして前回のはもううまくいったという内容で終わりましたが、今回ちょっとどういう内容なのか全く分かりませんが、よくよく考えると全部殺人事件的なのがやっぱ関わってきてるんで、おそらく今回も殺人事件なんじゃないかなと思います。ということで始めます。アビー屋敷の事件だって。アビー屋敷の事件。そうで、先日から YouTube の方で、これ、シャーロック・ホームズの配信も始めてるんですけど、なんかね、雲行き怪しいね。全然伸びねえ。再生数。今んとこ。
The game is afoot, not a word. Into your clothes and come.
急に
I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade, a letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
こいつ何なの本当。
The letter is on the table.
手紙の上。机の上。
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
あとね、あれです。文字をね、セリフをね、読むのは諦めました。なので、よかったら自分で読んでください。
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
急いでいたと言えるだって。
A wax seal with the monogram EB.
EB? 開けれないの？
The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
ブラッケンストール家の紋章だって。親愛なるホームズさん、極めて異常な事件になりかねない捜査に至急ご協力いただけますと大変嬉しく思います。夫人を解放した以外は事件現場はそのままの状態に残してあります。ユースタス卿を現場に置いたままにはできませんので、どうぞ一刻も早くお越しいただきたい。レストレード教授、ケント州マーシャムアビー屋敷、3時半。手紙ってそんなすぐ来るの？でも
what is it, Holmes?
Promising as always, it appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
アビー屋敷行っていいの？あ、 前回の事件のあれ見てねえや。まあいいか。前回の事件、ああ犯人ね。犯人多分あれだよね、警察に突き出したんだよね。アビー屋敷。アビー屋敷ってね、アビーの屋敷とかだったらまだ話わかんないけど、アビー屋敷。ああ、なんか。
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right. I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
Lord Ramsay Brackenstall. Baron Lyndon Brackenstall. Sir Warthen Brackenstall. Lord Brigham Brackenstall. Lord George Brackenstall. The Brackenstall family seems rather austere. Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had hurt them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes. I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
新しい傷跡。これあれかな。自作自演的な。あ、でもね、あんまりさ、そう。金のブローチ。オーストラリア製。豪華なドレス、指輪、結婚指輪、 てるよ。あ、古い傷跡？あ、DV 受けてたんじゃないの？あ、なんだろう、あと。なんだろう。お、何？青ざめた方。
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
うつ病、陰うつ症でもありました。古い傷跡。
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old.
1週間前
Your husband caused those bruises?
いや、翻訳さ。
Yes, he did. He was very angry at the
大変
time,
怒っていて手が
out
つ
of
けられ
control.
ませんでした。
Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
これがあれ？テレサ。
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir. As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
しわ。余計なお世話だわって、ほんと。え？何？何？どこ？労働者の手。うん。ハンカチ。蘇生？蘇生だって。なんだろう？どこなんだろうこれ。あ、違うね。これなんか血ついてない？違うか。あ、めっちゃ汚れてる。コーヒーのシミ。食堂？ここ？あ、間違えた。写真。
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one?
あ、待てよ、回転するってある。これをさ、やんないとさ、なんかあれなんだよ。進まないんだよ、話が。
So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
アデレードって書いてる。写真持ってっていいの？あ、なんかこれ見るやつもあんね。写真だって、これか。
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
額縁でできたものに間違いないよ。動かす。うわ！
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
あと手紙は入れない。そんなもんないかな。ないか。夫人、お願いします。金庫。
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
番号。
We have to open it. Your ladyship?
番号探すの？
My mistress is very tired. Can't you allow her to her
テレ
room?
サは知らないでしょ、きっと。したら何？このヒントを探すんだ。
The body is still in the dining room where the murder took
あ、
place.
食堂？こっち？
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
死体を調べた方がいいって。ワトソン君。あ、なんかロだな。何？これなんだろう。
It appears that the bell rope was
呼
cut
び鈴、
by
スー
someone
性が高い
taller
誰か
than
が
he.
切断したようだって。呼び鈴を、ああ、呼び鈴があったってこと？
A fur trader's cabin.
おや、遺体から調べるか。
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
The head was cracked with the force of the blow. That must be the murder weapon. Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon. It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation. A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. Chateau Calon Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. Sailor's knots. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me. This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to. A fur trader's cabin. A deer hunt. These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen. An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents. A bottle of wine is missing here. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware. The hunting scene. Antique hunting weapons. The hunting scene.
広い待って待って、室内から調べよう。
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture
この
there.
先は冒険してないって。ああ、こっから入ったの？広い。なんかどこで見たって、どっかで見たって言ったんだっけ？テレサ、全然ちょっと話聞いてなかった。話すのかな？話す。
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
確かに。
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his two sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
Please leave my Mary alone. She suffered so much, she deserves some rest.
なんかあれ机。新聞。ランドール一家の強盗。2週間前、有名な強盗団家族、ランドルの一家として知られる、なんとかは、シデナムの裕福な一家に粗暴なやり方で押し込んで強盗を働き、再出現を成し遂げた。警察はすでに彼らの手がかりを追っているが、被害者の名前を含めた犯罪の詳細は極秘にしている。3人について細部描写を提供できる目撃者が現れたため、警察は強盗犯罪一家の人物像を完成することができるだろう。誠に勝手ながら私たちの尊敬する読者諸君にこの非常に危険な盗賊団について十分な注意を払っていただくよう、現時点入手している詳しい人相書きを提供したく思います。強盗団はかなり前からこの商売を行っていて、一家は3人、父親に2人の息子、年配ジャック・ランドルは40代ですでに白髪がかっており中肉中背、盗難の黒幕を務め、年齢は近いが見た目が全く違う2人の息子を操っている。長男ウィリアム・ランドルは背が高くて肩幅が広い、それに不釣り合いな小さな頭をしている。弟メルビン・ランドルはどちらかというと華奢な体格で熊の手の棒のように細い。ランドル家の一家は盗難と住居侵入だけでなく、英国帰国前に極めて残忍な海賊業を行っていたことでも指名手配されている。十分な警戒をしてください。貴重品が無事でいることは我々は望んでいます。
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
一緒。
Oh, what a horrible thing.
Please leave my Mary.
ちょっと待って。あとなんだ、何調べんだ。殺人事件。休んでいる部屋を調べる。あ、トビーを連れてきて匂いの跡を追うって書いてある。ここあと多分これでしょ？
Let us try to open this safe.
いや、わかんないでしょ。
This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it's set to the correct number. え来ないよ。あ、ここだ。こんな簡単に金庫開けられちゃったら意味なくない？いやいや、ノーヒントで開けれたじゃん、金庫。診断書？ユースタス卿、あなたの現在の身体的また精神的な状態には大いに懸念しています。肝大小不全の、兆候がいくつか見られます。前回お会いした際、あなたの目は充血しており、皮膚は黄色がかっていた。あなたの特殊な口臭は肝臓に障害がある方が持つ特有なものです。それに以前お話した肺脳用もあります。説明を伺ったあなたが患っている下肢の痙攣は神経系の障害が原因で、それは過度のアルコール摂取により生じます。検査をしたとき、あなたの肝臓が非常に硬いようでしたが、それは肝障害の進行の症状です。また腹部の腫れから分かるように腹水の兆しがあります。左の肋骨に痛みを感じるというのは膵炎の可能性を示していて、死に至る重症急性膵炎になりかねません。あなたの状態は他の者に危険をもたらしかねません。過度のアルコール摂取量は自制心を失い攻撃性を高めます。私たちはあなたの健康状態にお役に立つことができるでしょう。治療法は何種類もあります。いやボロボロでしょ。 It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting, It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal. Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care.
散らばってるって。あ、これも完了した。したらあれだ。トビーを連れてくるって書いて、あ、なんかある。ちょっと待って。会話で尋ねる。あ、健康状態か尋ねる。
Oh, what a horrible thing to have.
テレサ？暴力の経歴。
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behavior.
医者が
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man.
嫌悪すべき
A
人間ですよ。
detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defense of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead. But a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. One with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was especially hard for her.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
Please leave my Mary alone.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. Such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal. I've searched outside for footprints without any luck.
したら高そうだから行くか。トビーを迎えに行けばいいのかな。医者もみんなグルで酔っ払ってるのが困ったからみんなで手を合わせて殺したみたいな話じゃ単純すぎるよねきっとね。
Someone should take Toby for a walk.
紐を調べる、
Let us see how the rope
どのよう
was
に
cut.
切断されたか見てみようって。これナイフじゃん。
The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly
確実
cut.
に刃物じゃん。
Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope.
ハサミ切っていいのあれだぞ証拠品だぞ。いいのか切って。
The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
あ、ハサミじゃないって。ナイフ？いいのか証拠品
If
だ
I
ぞ。
cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
同じ断面になるだって。同じ断面になるからベイカー街のトビーを連れてきて、トビー連れてくか。
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
トビーを操作します。いよいよトビーの出番です。あら、なんかいまいち可愛くありません横から見るといまいち可愛くないでかいね、こう見ると。泣いてろトビー、クンクン言ってろ。さすがにシャーロックでも匂いまではあれか。
Search, Toby.
あらちょっと待って、あんま可愛くないんじゃない？匂いこれ追っかけんの？ニューアロー。 けろっつった。こっから匂いしてんの。わあ、変な小屋みたいなとこだ。
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
この小屋に立ち寄った。こっちに行ってる。随分なんか周り黒いね。
The scent leads to the well. I shall check it.
こっちに来たね。なんかあるわ。壁。
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
で、ホームズ。最初にあそこ行こうか。最初にここ行こう。これでも
This hook might be useful.
これなんていうの、鍵っていうのかな。
Small gardening tools, nothing of great.
園芸用具は何もないって。
Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved.
空の袋がいくつか動かされているだって。ほら、なんかあるな。なんだ、窓。違う。
This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty.
音がする。古い旅行カバンだって。ここ寄って、で、井戸に行った。井戸どこだ？なんか落ちてるわ。
There's something glittering at the bottom there. But how
どう
can
や
I
ったら
reach
取れ
it?
るだろう。こうか。
Silverware.
銀
This
食
is
器。
hardly a
偶
coincidence.
然なんかではない。あ、銀食器だ。
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
だから盗まれてなんかなかったんだよ。ほら。来たよ、これ。医者じゃねえか犯人。通わない。3人もいなかったんじゃねえか。これほんと、合ってたらピーってつけなきゃいけないからね。作業が1個増えんだよ、編集の。盗まれた銀食器。
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place. Or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery. We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
なんか最後に顔が真顔になったのがちょっと、だんだんこいつらがやっぱり怪しくなってきたな。
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Indeed ってその通りって意味なの？もうちょっと。あ、壁に行ってない。ちょっと待って、壁行ってないわ。
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall.
手がかりが壁の後ろで消えてるって。
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
これはあいつらじゃねえか、犯人。ああ、そうか、推理か。一旦推理だわ。したらここで、ああ、すごい。犯人が分かった。犯人を確認した目撃者がいた。犯人のところが違うな。曲がった非課記棒。これか。なんだろう。これが入ってる。ちょっと待って。一気に行きます。わかんないこれ。え？あ、なんか繋がった。犯人が飲食行っちゃった。犯人が分かった。ランドル幼馴染って書いてあった今。そんなこと言ってた？もう全然わかんない。これちょっとあんまりここの場面だけ面白くないからもう飛ばす。現時点手がかりは何もありません。引き続き3人の人物。現場で3人が3個のグラスでワインを飲んでいた。そのうちの1人は折り入りのワインを好んだのだろう。現場で2人が3つの3個のグラスを使ってワインを飲んでいた。残りのグラスの1個には他の2個のグラスから注がれた折りだけが残る。折りって何？ちょっと待って。これちょっと待って。なんか難しいぞ。強盗が動機。違う。絶対違う。強盗に見せかけただよ。ユースタス教の死を説明するために強盗のように見せかけた可能性がある。銀食器は本当に見つかるべきではなかった。これはそうだね。これは絶対そうだと思う。証言と証拠がランドル一味の仕業と称号し、またそう指している。ランドルに罪を着せた。強盗に見せかけてユースタス教の死をランドルの3人のせいにした。すべてでっち上げられた作り話だった。これだよ。繋がんないぞ。痛ましい事故。ユースタス教は偶然に鉄格子に頭を打ち込んだ可能性がある。ユースタス教は非課記棒で一撃を受けて死んだ可能性がある。いや、こっちでしょ。殺されてるでしょ。これ2個のグラスのから注がれた檻だけかの。これちょっと意味がわかんない。檻って何なのかがわかんないんだな。これ繋がんないんだよ。でもこれロンドンには知人がいない。夫人は英国到着後間もなくユースタス教と結婚し、その後外出もせずにじゃなくてしずにって書いてある。ずっと家に閉じこもっている。おそらく彼女と使用人はこの国には知人はいないだろう。船員と知り合い。夫人はジブラルタル6号の船乗りの誰かと知り合いだ。あ、わかんないこれ。書いてあった？ユースタス教は、これでしょ？家庭内暴力。ユースタス教はあの晩訪問したうちの一人に殺された。ブラケンストール夫人を縛り付けたのも同じ人物だ。男は背が高くて力がある。医者だべや。医者だ？船員に背景がある。紐を鋭利なナイフで一回切断し、船員特有の結び目で急いで縛った。このことより侵入者の背景には船員がいる可能性が高い。まあそうだね。確かにこれあったよね。したらこれ船員と知り合いになったってことかしたら。ってことかな。船員を見つける。 資料館で専用見つけるって書いてあったね。あー、したら資料館に行くの？資料館。資料館って何？あれか、自分のやつか？これか？あー、ジブラルタル6号。そうか、じゃあベーカー街戻んだ。戻ります。あ、あれ調べよう。前回の事件の、犯人がどうなったか。